Evening all, hope you're alright. What's going on here? The LC's going mad. Bear with. Hope you're all doing well this evening. A bit of a random stream this will be tonight, so it's just going to be noodling around on my Amiga 600. There's a few things that I wanted to do, so I just thought, well, why not do a few of them, just stream them really. So there's a few jobs that I need to do, and I just thought, well, it'd be a bit of fun to do it live, I guess. I don't know that this is going to be the most interesting stream that you're ever going to see. I'm just trying to get some tunes going, guys, so bear with me a moment. That's what I'm looking for, I think. Yeah, that looks a bit better, doesn't it? Let's try that. There we go, should have some music now, hopefully. Hey Pishbot, I hope you're well. Yeah, so it's just going to be a very impromptu stream this evening. I'm just going to do a few jobs that I need to do on the Amiga. I wanted to set up some AMOS stuff as well, because I dug out my copy of AMOS from the loft the other week, I think. And but I didn't dig out my copy of AMOS Professional, which I need to get out. So I was going to get that out and also do a bit of DPaint work. So yeah, hey Fishbot, hope you're well. Hey Era42, hey Phil, hope you're doing well. So nice to see you guys. So my first job that I've got to do this evening is, one, I've got to find my phone so I can actually follow the chat, because I don't actually have that out at the moment. And two, I need to just quickly nip up into loft to get my spare discs and copy of AMOS Pro. So I should be right back. So you got music? Yes, there is tune. So let me just bring the volume up. I won't be that long, so I just wanted to get the stream underway. So yeah, see you in a moment. If you hear a loud bang, that's probably just me falling out of the loft hatch. So just run along and give the emergency services a call. come back with goodies, as you can probably see, so thanks for waiting there. We'll call for numbers, don't worry, yeah, no, we're all good, we're all upright, we're all safe, we're all sound. Okay, so, what I dug out of the loft. Yeah, here I am, oh, there's my grand entrance, Neil. Or have I made my invisibility cloak? No, I just went up in the loft to find some goodies, so, okay, so, last year when I picked up my Amiga 1200, good to see you, Neil, anyway, so sorry I didn't say hello. Yeah, so last year when I picked up my Amiga 1200, it came with a whole bunch of box software, but it also came with this. But what I noticed when I sorted through all the stuff once I got it all home was that it wasn't just the compiler, but it was also the manual for the actual sort of AMOS itself, and some other discs, which there's one of them. Anyway, so hey Pixels, hope you're well. So apparently she's making a grand entrance by falling out the loft hatch. Yeah, that would be quite the entrance, wouldn't it? Live stream me falling through the ceiling. So hey Damien, nice to see some new names here. So yes, AMOS. So this came with my Amiga 1200 last year, and yeah, so it kind of piqued my interest because when I was using the Amiga back in the 90s, I didn't actually really use AMOS. I had probably I don't know, all the cover discs that you could get it on and so forth, with Easy AMOS and AMOS Professional and so forth, but basically I was always a Blitz kid. Unfortunately I never saw Boy George waiting to collect my coat, but I guess what I mean by Blitz kid is a Blitz basic kid, not Blitz kid as in New Romantics and all that lot. But anyway, so what I went up in the loft to get was some blank discs, because you need those. So I've got a whole bunch of blank discs there. Oh, I'm making you miss your copy, am I? Yeah, it is a lot of memories, isn't it, Damien? So, has to be said. So, I have seen AMOS 2 is coming, Neil. I watched, oh gosh, Dan Wood's most recent video, where he was talking to Francois Lyonnais and about AMOS 2. So that sounds very interesting, but I'll be honest with you, I'm a complete AMOS novice because whilst I used Blitz and got on quite well with that, I moved on to C really, and I never really used the Amiga to make games on, really, to be honest with you. So I always used to code sort of more serious applications, so yours disappeared along with your Amiga 500, Damien. Yeah, well, I think we could all say that. Actually, I sold my copy of Blitz Basic all those years ago, or dumped it more likely, and that was 20 odd years ago. So I actually bought it back last year. I could have got the Blitz box down, but I can stay in the loft now. So, but yeah, you have your A600 in front of yourself, Pixels, about to remove the motherboard. Well, I'm sure I won't be too much of a distraction, so hey Kev, hope you're doing well, nice to see you, thanks for dropping in. So AMOS was always your thing back in the day, Phil. That's awesome. You've got the box and manual too, but they just don't work well anymore. I was quite amazed that the others are around here, but they all worked. So I think who I bought the Amiga 1200 from really looked after their stuff really well, stored it nicely. So anyway, so the other thing I brought down is this disc box. And this was another of the things that came with the Amiga 1200. There was a few of these disc boxes. And hey Sansian, hope you're well. Alright, I'm going to try definitely not to drop this. So this is one of the disc boxes. It came with about 5 or 6 of these, and essentially what it is just loads and loads, and talking of Blitz, that's what I tended to use. Basically every single cover disc of Amiga format from about 1992 onwards, which is incredible because when you look at the kind of software that you've got on these discs, this is assumed they all work. There's a nice demo of Uridium 2 there. Like Super Jam from, what was that name of the company that did it? So I've got it on here. Yeah, Blue Ribbon, that was it. Blue Ribbon Soundworks. They also did Bars and Pipes. Canon Soccer. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all these, but essentially, but not only that, most of them are actually sealed, which is just crazy. So Anyway, so in here, I know that Amiga Format gave away AMOS Professional back in late 94 or early 95. So there is just demo of a PD there. It's pretty insane, really, to think that I've got all this stuff here that I can just dig out the loft. So I was a very demo of Sensible Golf. That seems to have become very popular. It wasn't back in the day. There you go. That's what I'm looking for, and it's sealed. Look. So yeah, pretty incredible, really, and so it goes on. I'm talking of bars and pipes. There it is. Looks like they might have actually used that one. So actually, I've got 2 copies of it. Maybe one of them is actually mine from back in the day, because I did used to use bars and pipes. Wasn't very good with it though, but mostly because I struggle to be able to play. Oh, another demo. So did they give away 2 demos of Sensible Golf? How bizarre. Looks like Amiga Format, within about the space of 10 issues or so, gave away 2 demos of Sensible Golf. How bizarre. Anyway, so looks like whoever owned this Amiga quite liked it there, because they've opened both of them up. So anyway, so this isn't just a show and tell session. There's all these subscriber cover discs as well. So yeah, they obviously avidly got the magazine, but rarely opened up the like, you can see that these are just completely shrink wrapped. I mean, that's a demo of Optimated Sound Studio, but yeah, even so. Right, so I guess we've got to break the seal on this one, so it's only a bit of sellotape. So there we go. It's the first time that this disc will have been out of this wrapper since 1990. 67A. That's either the very start of 95 or very late 94. So Vista Pro is in there. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. So yeah. Yeah, they are nice floppies, aren't they, Pishbot? And you remember that Blitz cover disc Pixels, definitely. So bet the damn things are full of bit rot now. I know loads of yours are. Well, we're about to find out. The ones that I have actually used have been fine, Santian. So yeah, absolutely, Error 40. There's just so much to go through, isn't there? So I hope for yours are alright. So thanks, Kev. That's very kind of you. I know you're always good at giving a little shout out for that. It's always appreciated if people are able to spare a moment to leave a little thumbs up, and that it all helps with, I don't know, encouraging me to do more. So you know, it's not a well, I don't know how to describe it, but it's always just nice to know that what I produce, even if it is a bit scatty at times, is enjoyed. So right, so I'm just going to put some tunes on my phone, because obviously the music's streaming out of my Mac and I'm not actually enjoying what you're listening to. So so let's see what I can stick on here. But yeah, so it will work. Right, let's pop it in the Amiga 600. Oh, I've got a disc in there already, my DPaint animation disc. Let's pop that in there. I'm just going to switch this over to full screen on the Amiga. There you go, that'll do nicely. Right, okay, so nice score with that lot, wasn't it, Error 40? Yeah, so there we go, AF67A. Okay, looks like it's going to be one of these discs that's best booted from, so let's... I just wanted to quickly do something whilst I was here. Very kindly, Southwest Amiga Group donated a Tabby graphics tablet, which I'll show you in a moment, actually, to me. But for the life of me, I can't get the thing to work at the moment, so I don't know whether it's the Tabby, the cabling, or what. But essentially, I've got a few problems with getting that to work at the moment, so I'm just going to disable that at the moment. So just because otherwise it's just taking up memory that doesn't need to be used. So yeah, I think that's all that it installed. Right, let's reboot that. Yeah. cool. I've got the chat on my phone now, so I can follow that. So, oh, noisy Amiga. Okay, cool. Hi, Dev. You okay, buonasera? I better need unpacking and installing. Of course it will. It's all part of the fun, isn't it? So, Amiga Format presents AMOS Professional Europress software. The following script will decrunch AMOS Professional to do so. Have 2 blank write-enabled discs at the ready. First, you should write protect your Amiga Format cover disc. Let's just check that. Oh, look. It's not. Because obviously I'm going to slap that back in, so... Right, okay, so we've done that. Yeah, decrunching, none of that, that zip rubbish, absolutely. So this is obviously just going to copy the DMS images, I'm sure, to RAM or something like that, and then we'll be off on our way. So, yeah, this is all part of the noodling that I had planned this evening. So, what fun, you're watching me write floppy disks. But yeah, going back to what Error 42 says there, it was a right score. So yeah, I don't know where this guy must have stored his Amiga stuff. But there we go. Huh, good guess. It is indeed DMS. So unpacked too many discs back in the day. Oh, and check this out. Wherever they've gone. Around his. Oh, here they are. I've also got a bunch of disc labels here. you don't easily pick those up anymore in WH Smiths, that's for sure. So says something about a person when they have a stack of floppy disks by their Mac, isn't it, really? So, oh, that was another cool cover disc that I found in amongst that lot a few weeks ago. XDVE. It's a little bit like a hybrid between Adorage, which used to render really cool effects on anim files like fade outs, page curls, all that stuff, but on anim files, so not live like Scala, which is quite handy. And so it's a bit of a cross between Adorage and Scala. It's quite clever actually. So quite a nice user interface, very Scala-like. So I've been playing a bit with that. It's quite cool. It's just all my DPaint discs and stuff, really, isn't it? So movie setter and stuff. So yeah, it's just purring, yes, indeed it is. So what we'll do is we're going to get AMOS unpacked and then we'll install it, and then I'm going to try and put on this tile map editor, so it should be quite good. And then what we'll do is we'll just see how that goes, and then we'll do some DPaint, I think. So right. I love this. Amiga OS 1.0 OFS. Lovely. You're not cool unless you have a stack of floppy disks somewhere. Well, absolutely. Yeah, this desk is just one great big stack of floppy disks at the minute. So it's funny, isn't it? Years ago, my desk used to look very similar to this, albeit without a very big flat screen monitor like I have now, obviously. But discs everywhere. And then got rid of them all about 20 years ago, and now I'm back to square one again. So yeah, Pishbot, Amiga Power did have some amazing cover discs, didn't they? So almost done there, last block. There we go. Right, that's disc 1 done. Pop that back in there. Get a disc label. I think we'll do my AMOS disc with a yellow label. Why not? Look at those lovely Workbench 1.3 like colours there. They're matching. Look at that. Right. There's something very satisfying about putting disc labels on after all these years. I should really show and tell. Right, now that's the first disc complete. Let's decompress the AMOS Pro Accessories disc. Please wait whilst I copy the appropriate files to RAM. Okay, so let's take this one out. Well, it seems like the disc is good because it's managed to write that okay, hasn't it? Let's get a pencil. There we go. There we are. That'll do nicely. Just wrote that on there, so I don't know. There you go. Just about focuses, doesn't it? So that's done. So could you just have a decrunching stream? Well, with that box of discs, I think you could basically have an entire day's worth of me just decompressing archives. DMSR, yes. But will they stick? Yeah, they do. Amazingly. Like I say, I don't know where the chap that I bought my Amiga 1200 stored his stuff, but he did a good job. You could never get those labels straight. Yeah, some are better than others, but I think you'll agree that that's a pretty top-notch job there. So, years of experience, you see, so albeit that I've not done it for 20 odd years, I guess. So, right, so let's move that out of the way there so we don't get confused. Got a whole other stack of discs there because I did actually also, just in case this disc, the Amiga format cover disc didn't work, I actually downloaded AMOS Pro, which you can easily obtain these days, which had 6 archive, or 6 ADF files. So I thought, just in case, because I didn't want to sort of say that I'm going to be doing some AMOS stuff, so putting discs in the loft is like leaving a dog in a car on a hot day. Yeah, maybe me storing the stuff up there isn't such a great idea, but at the moment it seems to be doing okay. I mean, I've made sure that everything's all boxed up nicely and so forth, so we'll see. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have too many other places to store them, but yeah. Right, that's the next one done. Right, let's put that cover disc back in wherever I put it. Where did I put it, folks? Oh, it's underneath here. It's just going to say, yay, we're done. Let's get another disc label. Hurrah! The 2 AMOS professional discs have been successfully decompressed in 2 blank discs. Blah, 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 blah. Okie dokie, so that's all good. I do actually have a second external drive as well, but we'll just stick to the one floppy drive this evening, otherwise it all gets a bit complicated, doesn't it? So, let's just write disc 2 on this. Okay, there we go. Disc 2. Right, thank you for your cooperation. Oh, Starwing, love it. Right, let's just reboot there. We'll boot from floppy disk for what it's worth. Thanks, Robocop. You know it. Right, so let's see what happens now. I'd imagine that you install AMOS Pro like I had to do AMOS, the standard version, which is like almost like an AMOS script in itself. I'm guessing that, bear in mind that I've probably not used AMOS Pro now for, well, 20 plus years, and I didn't even really use it then, so pop it back in its little plastic bag. So there you go, 25 years old, and I actually don't have this magazine anymore, although I did used to have it. So I seem to think it came with the copy of Amiga format. I had, I seem to remember like Christmas baubles on it or something like that. Sort of like a slightly what's the colour I'm thinking of? Burgundy colour cover to it. So. Oh, okay, so this is AMOS Pro 1.12, so it's got the patch that I downloaded as well, so that's cool. Right, so what do we have? Oh, hang on, we've actually got a proper menu here as well. So open and load. No. Oh, it's just created a new one. I didn't want to do that. Don't see much of an install script there. Okay, let's just have a look what's on the second disc here. Oh, this is a classic tune. Oh, of course, don't forget guys, I'm listening to what you're listening, but probably about 5-10 minutes behind, so... DFO, what am I looking at? I'm guessing that this version of Amiga format doesn't actually have the install script, but... okay. Let's have a look. Hey Phil, hope you're well, so good to see you. Yeah, you did miss the grand AMOS floppy disk opening, so yes, it's now sealed up again now, so you much prefer the colours on this version to the others, yeah. That's one of the things I've actually got the copy of Amiga format where they reviewed AMOS Pro to start with, and I was looking at the screenshots and I thought that looks a bit more usable than the blue screen of the standard AMOS. So you can boot from the hard drive, install it from an icon on the disc. Well, let's see what's on the disc, because I do have the 6 disc images if I'm going to use the original one, because I have a feeling that maybe Amiga format cut down what was on the discs to sort of get it to fit, so... Right, let's just got examples there, but AP system. Yeah, it's just got the default icon, hasn't it? So I doubt there's an install script in here, because this is usually what AMOS uses as its bootstrap, isn't it? So yeah, I can't see any story there. Right, okay. Well, I've still got plenty of floppy disks here, folks. Fancy some ADF action and some Dopus. Oh, it's all kicking off tonight, isn't it? I mean, this is... Who wants to play Fortnite when you can watch me write floppy disks? Let's just take that one out there. I'm going to keep these because it's quite a nice compact version, so... Yeah, if you can think where it might be, Phil, just let me know, so I'll try and follow those instructions, but don't worry too much, because I have done a little bit of preparation for this. Not much, you know, I don't want to go overboard, but it's not in there. Oh, I'm in the docs folder, that's why. I must admit, I'm not actually flicked over onto the full screen, so I'm actually looking at the Amiga through the capture card, so my mousing around is a little bit slow at the moment. Oh, Contra free. Well, it is for me anyway. AMOS Pro, that's what I'm looking for. Let's go to docs and let's just copy all of those across. There we go. ADF action and some Dopus. You wouldn't want to hear that. You wouldn't want that heard out of context. Well, this is true, so it's just amazing. You have some working double-sided, double-density discs, says Sans, and you're right, unbelievable. I mean, there's absolutely stacks of these discs, and not one of them has given me any grief, so it's unbelievable. I mean, at a principle, I never buy unless it's such a good price and I'm not really bothered whether the disc works or not, but I never buy second-hand Amiga games because, one, they've crept up in price, but as a consequence of that, they've, you know, known what bit rot these discs do suffer. It's just not worth the potential disappointment of finding out that your, you know, your investment of spending however many pounds on supposedly original copy is, you know, not usable. So let's go ADH2. No, I think it's 1 actually. And Right. I won't put disables on all of these because I'm just literally going to install this, and I'll just keep the Amiga format copy for when I want to use it on disk. So, right. We'll see how this goes. Okay. So whilst it's doing this, obviously, as you can probably tell, this is as always happening on the real Amiga. There it is. Busy beavering away there. That's where all the action's going on at the moment in the floppy drive, which I'll admit Amiga Kit did actually service for me last year because it was a bit gumped up after all those years in the loft, but otherwise the... let's turn that around, let's get it right way up. Oh, it's Castlevania again. At least it is on my headphones. Yeah, so the old girl's doing well again, so... And this one right in front of you here is not doing too bad either. So yes, it's quite a rare thing to... Sorry, excuse me whilst I just get this webcam sorted out. Folded up somehow. Maybe it does that. Well, I don't know. There we go. Look away now if you get motion sickness. There we go. So yeah, it's pretty incredible. Most of my floppy disks that I still had from all those years ago, luckily most of those worked as well. So even my copy of Amiga Vision was quite okay. So let's wait patiently for this to happen. So this is fun, isn't it? Anyway, so whilst that's doing all of that, yeah, so this manual is actually pretty good. So I always like a paper manual, and it's actually going to help me learn a bit of AMOS, because the reason why I've picked up AMOS with a view to actually doing something more with it compared to Blitz Basic is that I love Blitz and it's very powerful and it's very fast, but the documentation on it is pretty poor, so basically it's just a bit too complex for me to get my head around when it comes to like tile map scrolling and so forth. And so what I've decided is that I'm going to just kind of use AMOS as a test bed for, you know, some ideas, get used to it and so forth, and see where we can get. So so yeah, it should be a bit of fun. So yeah, that's what I'm guessing as well, Phil, is that they removed that install.amos file to save the space. Yeah. Ah, okay, I can talk about that, Pixels, no problem. That's always good to have something to talk about, and the beauty of this being an Amiga is that we can multitask. Right, that's the first disc of AMOS done. I'm just going to put a little 1 on there, just in pencil, so because I'm going to reuse these discs, hopefully. Yeah, Phil, that's exactly right. One advantage of Blitz was that you could use those system libraries directly, and you didn't have to hack about. I mean, back when I was doing the majority of my Amiga programming, it was when people were expecting more OS legal applications and stuff. So yeah, so it made a lot of sense to you know, use Blitz, and for that it was much better than using AMOS. So, and I programmed some pretty nifty stuff with Blitz. I seem to remember creating something that would print out images, colour images and stuff. It was quite hard work, but because essentially with the Amiga's default printer driver, to print out colour graphics you have to render like a shadow ham image in memory, and then print from that. So it's very, very tricky. So yeah, you couldn't do native UI with AMOS, that's right. So what programs did I write back then? That's a good question, Error 42. I shall come to that shortly. So about this toolbar, Pixels. So bear in mind that my Amiga 600 is very much like yours, Pixels. It's basically a 68,000. It's only 7 megahertz, but it does have some extra memory. So I've basically got 2 mega chip RAM. It's quite a cheap upgrade. I think you can pick up an extra mega chip RAM for about £20 or so. And then I've got a 2 meg PCM CIA card. So basically, you're hungry now, Phil. How funny. So yeah, so I've got 2 mega fast RAM. So it gives a total of 4 megabytes of RAM. And I have to say that's plenty enough for this system. It does everything I need it to. Not exit. So does exit work on anything? I had a long day at work again today, so the beauty of this little toolbar is obviously you can launch stuff. Now, you don't have to have these as text icons, you can have them as actual icons, but on the A600, because of, like, I just run this in high-res mode, I don't want to use up too much chip memory and all that kind of stuff, I just keep this pretty vanilla. But it's quite nice because what you can do is you can, if I go into documents, for example, so what I can do is I can drag in a document like so, over trans right here, because essentially it's like a large app icon. What will happen is it will load that document straight in, so it's kind of like the Max doc. So I guess it probably took some inspiration from Next Step at the time. So it's pretty cool. So you can, you know, sort of drag and drop, you know, whatever document that created. So this is like a final copy document here. So. And I don't know what's in this document, so hopefully I've not written some missing fonts, huh? Oh, okay. It's because I've moved this. Let's just well, this gives a good idea of Amiga multitasking, doesn't it? So I think it's written that disk now. All on a Motorola 68000, folks. Great computers, weren't they? So this is the thing that's often overlooked, I think, with the Amiga, is that it was a real computer to do work on. So even I mean, I've got used to the speed of this machine now, so I'd struggle to use it as my everyday machine in 2019, obviously, but it's you know, it's not quick. Obviously my Amiga 1200 is much faster, but as you can see, the screen refresh rate is a bit janky. But on the other hand, I've got there we go. It's found the drawer. So I'm just going to work through these. I was only just really trying to show that that this works as a sort of like a dock. So so have I ever used Graphic Adventure Creator? I haven't, Phil. Do tell me more about it. If you want to throw some stuff in the chat, maybe a link, I'll approve the link and I'll have a look at it. So you got Super Mario Brothers. Oh, awesome. So oh, another one. Oh gosh, I must use a lot of fonts in this document is all I can say, unless it's actually literally looking for every font that was previously under that assign. See, I've got Final Fantasy 3 or 6 at the moment, so yep. Not being able to format disks and use the desktop windows used to drive me nuts after using an Amiga. Well, quite. This is it, isn't it? So sorry folks, this is probably not the right document to open, was it? So the problem is I can't even do really assign to this. Is it just... I thought I've already selected that font, soft serif italic. I'm just hitting it thinking it's found them, so but maybe you have to actually select the font as well. Okay, maybe I've been going around in circles there. So not only in Chrono Trigger do I do it when I'm actually trying to use a computer as well, but yeah, it's been a long 3 months for me. Okay, it's loading the document now, I think. Alright, let's see how AMOS is doing. Doesn't usually take this long to load the document, I'll be honest. Maybe it's actually now crashed. The power of Amiga multitasking, a guru meditation awaits. But yeah, tool it's called, I should get you the name of it. Oh, here you go. So basically I've started writing one of these documents here. So it's even got a graphic in it. No wonder why it took its own sweet time to load. But final copy is awesome on the Amiga 600. Works pretty quick, doesn't it? So yeah, cool bit of software. But the let's push it to the max. utility that I use for the dock is something called Tool Manager, I believe. Yeah, Tool Manager, there it is. If you go on AmiNet, you'll find version 2.1, I think it's called. Let's just see. About 2.1, yeah, good guess. The only reason I say that is because there is actually a newer version, but I seem to think that requires Workbench or Kickstart 3.0 or later, and you may find that that's just a little bit too much for your 205 Amiga 600 there. So right, so that's disc 3. See, multitasking makes you productive. Look at all this work I'm getting done. You know. Well done, Amiga. So, anyway, so that's final copy. So, great little bit of software. Used to be my go-to word processor back in the day. Nah. Right. Let's close some of these windows. And let's write disk 4. I hope you enjoyed the stream tonight, folks. It's a bit of a utilitarian stream so far, but that's giving you Amiga a little workout, isn't it? So Phil says about the graphics adventure creator GRAC. It was written in AMOS, I believe, but allowed you to make point-and-click adventures and using a GUI. Now that is interesting. I would like to check that out actually at some point, so I'll look into it. So it's one of those things that I probably heard of years ago, but has just long since flown out of my memory. So, right, so now we've got nothing running there, so that's cool. So we're all good. So that's Tool Manager version 2.1 is what you want, Pixels. So back to Error 42's question: what sort of Amiga programs did I write back then? Little knickknacks, stuff like that. I think one of the most popular things that I wrote was a little patch for PC Task, the PC emulator that you could get for the Amiga. Excuse me. I seem to remember that version. I can't remember if it was the most recent versions of it or version 3.1. But when you booted Windows in it, the light grey colour in the 16 colour VGA palette was corrupted and was like a dull cyan colour. So I don't know why that was. So I just made a very quick patch that basically, when the PC Task screen was open, it would patch that colour essentially. So yeah, red wine and fix. What a chilled eve! Yay, Anthony, it's nice to see you. So tonight is my Friday night because I'm in London all weekend. So I'm having a beer ski tonight. So good to see you, Anthony. I hope you're well. So we're just doing a bit of AMOS setting up, having a little play with AMOS because I want to have a little fiddle with the tile map editor or just see what it's about. And I might also get some time to do some DPaint as well. So just so you know, Anthony, what I've been working with, because I'm not sure if you've been in those streams, but the drawing that I've been working on, of which I haven't done any more, folks, since you've last seen us a couple of weeks ago. So because I do aim to stream all of the development of this piece of art and animation, is this one here. So this is why Tool Manager is really good, Pixels, actually. So yeah, so I'm working on this Masato Katsuragi piece, which will be sort of animated and stuff. So early days at the moment, but it's yeah, we got the eyes pretty much there and everything's sort of roughly sketched out, so we'll need a little bit of correcting here and there, but yeah, it's sort of there. So let's just close that down. Please wait. Of course. Right, so that was disc 4. Where did I put that pencil? There it is. You got some Zelda, have you? Yeah. It's a good mix, this, actually, isn't it? I must admit, it seems a bit strange playing Super Nintendo music over an Amiga stream, but if anybody has watched any of my streams, you know that I love the Super Nintendo as well. So, and they're both sort of similar audio architecture. They're both sample driven, aren't they? So yeah. I am indeed, Anthony, going to the manga exhibition at the British Museum. So, yeah, so I'm going to. Both of my brothers live up in London, so I'm going to go and visit them. But I'm going to go with one of my brothers and his girlfriend. She's also really into her manga and anime, so we're just going to go and geek out at that, really. So it should be awesome. Really looking forward to it, and obviously just generally chilling, having some food, some drinks, and just enjoying the usual old sights, you know. Have a wander around Covent Garden, you know. Maybe pop in the Apple store and laugh at that cheese grater that they've released. So, yeah. You went to get one of those SNES classics after the last stream you did with it. All sold out. Really? I did know that they were discontinuing them, but I didn't know that they had sold out. So my recommendation to you, Phil, as I'm sure you're well on it already, is Gumtree. At least, obviously, you get a chance to see the item before you go and pick it up. But the chances are that you're still going to be able to find people who are selling boxed ones who just don't want it, who might sell it for about 50 quid or so, which it's well worth. So yes, it's an awesome bit of kit. I'm just going to turn a light on here, thanks. Oh. So yeah, so that's my weekend's plan. So hence a bit of a stream tonight, because if I do stream anything tomorrow, it might just be me being ad hoc playing Castlevania again. I'm definitely on my Castlevania vibe at the minute, so almost beats what I call stage 5, but level 5 this afternoon briefly when I was playing it on my DS. So because I've got like the Game Boy Advance cartridge, so as well. Right, so we're almost there, folks. I can't believe it. One of my busiest streams ever, and all you've watched me do is multitask on an Amiga and use some floppy disks. So, but I enjoy this kind of stuff, and I'm sure you guys do as well, by the looks of it. So, just whilst we're waiting for this to complete, mostly because this isn't an Atari ST, we can just about do other things. I've also started work on another part of where would I have put that one? Oh no, did I do that on... Could have sworn I did it on the Amiga, not under emulation. Not sure. Hey Doug, hope you're doing well. Good to see you. So yeah, I was just going to try and find the other little bit of what I'm working on as part of this whole Evangelion thing. Might be in here. It's possible, I guess. Oh, is it under group? I have a feeling it is. The day got better 50 minutes ago. Why? What happened? Oh dear. Right. Disc 5. Disc 5. Numéro 5. Okay, and so disc 6. Last one just about, so we've also got the patch disc to look at, so let's just transfer that. I'm sure any of you who have faster Amigas or used to using it under emulation are going, God almighty, how did you use this Amiga 600? But let's be honest, I don't use it because I want it to be fast. I use it because it just charms me. You know, obviously if I had to use a computer every day that, you know, for the general stuff that took that long to redraw that requester. I don't know why it's so slow. I think what it is that Easy ADF actually I think it corrupts memory in some way. I think it's got a memory leak and it just stuffs everything up. So the A600 isn't usually that slow. I've noticed it before when I've written a lot of ADS with Easy ADF before. It just seems to clag up the system. So right, let's just bring this folder to the front. So the other thing that I've been working on is the big group picture. So if I just load this up, so hey there DB, hope you're all well. Yeah, this is kind of into Amiga realms at the moment, but we will be doing some DPaint. So I was just showing actually some of the bits that I've been working on. So yeah, I've just writing some discs for a programming language that's called AMOS, so which you may have heard of. Hey Necronom, no, you like AMOS? Awesome, you've been doing some bug testing for AMOS 2 recently. And you've made a breakout straight Arkanoid clone with it to try it out. I haven't actually done those, but always like to use it. So no, you've not missed the AMOS part. I'm just unpacking the AMOS professional images. I'll go through a bit of that again in a minute. So yes. So yeah. So the idea with this is that, you know, like when and this particularly goes for console games because they tended to do this stuff. So, but Amiga games did do it sometimes, but console games tended to do it. You know, like when you've had the introduction sequence, then what flashes up is sometimes you get like a group picture of all the characters, and then it scrolls up or something like that to reveal sort of like the nemesis or the bad guy or whatever it might be, sort of like dark in the background, and then it will flash the game's logo on the screen, like push start to play or whatever it would be. So that's kind of what this will be. This will be like a group picture of like the main sort of Evangelion cast, like Asuka, Rei, Shinji, Misato. Who else will I do now? I'll probably draw Gendo in there. Who else will I put in there? I don't think I'll put Kaoru in there. But anyway, regardless, whoever I draw in there, sort of like a main ensemble. Probably, what was Shinji's mum's called? It was Yui, wasn't it? So I think it was Yui. But anyway, so basically you'll have this ensemble cast, as it were, and then it's going to sort of like scroll up, and then it's going to reveal sort of perhaps sort of like Ava Unit 1 or something like that, I guess. So which we call then Beyond Justice Evangelion sort of flash on the screen, a bit like what Tyraken 2 does, I guess. So it's generally faster than the PCs you use at work, Phil. Well, mine today has been an exercise in frustration. So I'm at the loop as well, DB. I didn't really use AMOS much back in the day. I was more of a Blitz kid, as I keep on saying. Not of the cool kind, obviously, but when I picked up my Amiga 1200 last year, it came with this box copy of AMOS Compiler, which also had the full version of AMOS in there. But the tilemap editor that I found so that I could potentially make a game actually only runs on AMOS Professional. So I dug out my copy of Amiga Format's AMOS Pro cover disc, which came out 25 years or so ago. But it didn't have an installed script for my hard drive or compact flash card, so I've literally been writing all the discs that I downloaded off the internet with AMOS Pro on now. So, I've got just the right number of discs. So it's literally just one more to go. So forgive me whilst I do this, but otherwise we'll only have to return to this. So, I've got Secret of Mana now. Love that game. It's flawed, but it's brilliant. So yeah, the whole idea of me looking at AMOS is that it's just going to be a bit easier for me to try and do some coding on for like concept games. So maybe I can at least attract the interest of somebody who come on, Easy ADF. Actually, I'm going to close this down because as I say, I'm sure it does something that sort of stuffs up the memory or so, because it's grinding everything to a bit of a halt here. I know this is only a basic Amiga 600, but it's usually a bit more sprightly than what Easy ADF leaves it. Okay, I'll leave those in there. I just think it doesn't free certain memory when it's done, and I think it just clags everything up. So right, last disc. You recently found a way of playing something that you found on the internet. Wonderful. There's nothing wrong with emulation, so, you know, it's... I don't think Francois Lyonnais is going to be too perturbed that I've downloaded his full version of AMOS Professional. I mean, there you go. You can see now that I closed and restarted the Easy ADF, everything responds at its normal rate, so... But, yeah, so, this will help me sort of just build up these proof of concept games, shall we say, or whatever it is that I'm going to try and do. And, yeah, it's worth doing, so. You'll be cracking open AMOS Pro when this Amiga is up and running. Awesome pixels, yeah, we can explore it together, so, because I'm at the very beginning of learning it, so... it's just the fact that I could get things like Tome Map Editor and all that kind of stuff for it, and so rather than me going, oh, if only I could put some of this to use and whatever, and then I thought, well, let's try and pick up something that has a better suite of tools that may not run as fast as it could do. You know, I'm sure a 68K assembler piece of coding could run a lot quicker, but hey, let's not worry about those kinds of things. Let's just go and create something, and then if somebody sees something that I'm doing, they think, well, I'm a good coder, I can take what you do and we can make something together, all the better. So you've got a game that's usually going for £2 on eBay. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? £2. I dread to think what that is. Is that some sort of like Neo Geo game or something? I was looking in the Windows CEX in Worthing. I think it must have been yesterday. And they've got that copy of Rule of Roses, which is one of the more expensive PS2 games. I can't believe there's a PS2 game that's 220 quid it was. I don't know what Rule of Roses is, to be honest with you, so, yeah. I won't be buying it, so... But I did buy Crazy Taxi for £1, I think, so that seemed pretty good, so... Right, almost there, folks. Almost there. And then we can watch it slowly install AMOS. Oh, well. Rule of Rose, sorry. Yes, that's the one, so... Yeah, it's got a very distinctive piece of cover art, but, yeah. I've just got to the Zelda music sound tune if you're still with us, so... That goes to show how far behind musically I am with what you're listening to, so... Right, okay, we've got the update disc there as well now. Awesome, right. Okay! It's a not great survival horror title in the vein of Silent Hill, I guess. Ah! So not only is it expensive, it's also not very good, so... Begs the question why it's... I guess obviously it didn't sell very well, but I don't know why people punish themselves by paying lots of money for crap games. Aha! An install icon. Right, let's do this. So you're just officially popping in and popping out. Whoa. Sounds a bit like something from I'm Alan Partridge. Lynn, I don't mean to alarm you, but I've just popped out. Anyway, I'm glad you're not doing it unofficially then, Dave, because if you was unofficially popping in and out, that really wouldn't be called for, so... Oh, I guess the Amiga screen has gone blank because obviously I'm... Ooh. Fancy installer, Francois. It's not quite the Commodore installer utility, is it? So, Great Guiana Sisters, expensive, not very good. Well, yeah, this is it, isn't it? There's plenty of examples of not very good games that fetch a lot of money, really, isn't there? So, click the nationality of your... As always, describes the UK keyboard as English. Poor Scots and Welsh and so forth, and the Northern Irish. And I guess the Republic of Ireland used the UK layout as well, so... Your first name is... Your surname is... Sounds like an aptitude test. I haven't actually watched that yet, DB. It's on my list to watch at some point. It looks really good. What Kim Justice has put together there. She's been doing some really good videos along those lines. So, yeah, looking forward to that. So, right. Copy this number onto your registration card and return the card to Europress Free Post. Only after using AMOS Professional for 2 weeks. Right, let me just do that. Right, let's just get their address. Now obviously this manual predates Europress because it's Mandarin software. Let's see, where have I got it? Oh, here we go. Europa House, Adlington Park, Adlington, Macclesfield. Yeah, I'm sure they're still there, so... Okay, so... Yes, they did make the installer with AMOS, so that's almost a certainty. Your system disk will now boot direct. Okay, right, cool. So let's just click OK there. So where do I want to install this? So let's go to devices. Oh, Chrono Trigger tunes now on my headphones. Familiar for those who've been joining Chrono Trigger Tuesdays. Okay, can I switch back to Workbench? This is the only thing with AMOS, isn't it? Even left Amiga and M doesn't work, so... Right, okay. Does this create the directory or not? Let's try just typing this in. I guess that means you don't exist. Okay. Bad directory. Oh, I hate it when things don't get explained whether they create a folder or not, so... Well, let's just try it here, so... Amiga A. Ah, thank you, Necronom, thank you. Perfect. This is probably now going to create a folder within a folder, but never mind. At least it's not going to make a mess of this folder, so... Let's just rename that one. Right, that'll do. Oh. Amiga, oh yeah, Amiga A to get back, cool. So now if I just refresh that dial, AMOS Pro, there it is. Okay. Free Post still exists, yeah. Oh, I see, Ruler Rose was released and then banned pretty quick. Oh, I see. So, let's install the whole shebang. Okay. Free Post still exists. Awesome. That panicked me too. Thought it was overwritten Workbench. Yeah, it is, isn't it? So, DB, that's a good question actually. Yeah, so yeah, I really like Kim's documentary on Ocean Software as well. Would I consider doing documentary videos in the future? The thing is that my work has been very stressful of late, and so when I've got in of the evening, I've not really had the willpower to do much of you know, sitting down, researching, producing video, you know, like actually putting together proper videos. It's been a bit hardcore, and so I prefer just to do the streaming and just enjoy myself, to be honest with you. Will I do them in the future? Maybe. I mean, I think the thing is that a lot of the Amiga documentaries that are out there are actually pretty good. Some of them contain the odd little inaccuracy, but overall they're pretty good. I still think there's stuff that can be done, but when you look at the quality of like what is it, Ahoy? I don't know if you've seen his How the Amiga flatlined video. But if you haven't, search for that on YouTube. It's amazing. Do look out for that. Please insert an AMOS professional tutorial disc. I assume it's disc 2. And so it's just going to take a lot of effort. However, I have been very slowly working on a Commodore UK documentary, so do look out for it. It will eventually appear. David Pleasance has agreed to be interviewed, and a few other peeps in the Amiga community like Neil Retro Man Cave and Dan Wood and Ravi Abbott and who else have I asked? There's a few people that also want to interview some other Amiga users like myself, you know, so if you're interested, do drop me a line. But yes, the which version of Deluxe Paint video is a documentary, so DB, have a look at that. Yeah, so if you go on my YouTube page, if you look for which version of Deluxe Paint, you'll find it's pretty much a Deluxe Paint history video, really, to be honest with you. I've probably found as much information as I can do about Deluxe Paint so far, so you like my AMOS Thursday, something like that, isn't it? You like my icon font there, Anthony? Let's just see what that is. It's just a nice little small one that doesn't take up too much space. Is it fonts or font? I can't remember. But it's not that then, is it? Font. Let's see. So yes, I do aim to do more videos of that ilk, but I'll be honest with you, I just think that, you know, with the likes of like Kim, and you've also got Nostalgia Nerd, and Dan Wood does his bits and pieces on his channel, and it's called Peridot 7, Anthony, so yeah. Yeah, that's one, DB. Hey Sabretooth Barnacle, hope you're well. So, yeah, I hope you're having a good evening there. So you're seeing David Pleasance next week. Is that at the Revivals, Dave? That American video, Chronicles, that I had an interview with Dan Silver, is brilliant. Ah, have I not seen that one? Oh, the Computer Chronicles. Yes, I have seen it. There are some clippets that I took from that episode. I put those into the which version of Deluxe Paint video, plus a few others that I found with Dan Silver and other tidbits in. So, yeah, I'm good, Sabretooth Barnacle. Yeah, not too bad. I'm glad today's over with. I'm glad this week's almost over with. And referring to what you're asking, Dave, yes, we're almost there with that project. The insane project to build a... Obviously, I have had help with populating content and stuff, but the insane project of building a 8-language e-commerce site in 3 months. So, yeah. What can I say about that, eh? So, oops, put this other disc in, sorry. I'm not noticing when it actually flashes up the request. Yeah, I wish I was going, so... Ahoy and Kimmy, your inspiration documentary-wise pixels. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, you're going to... Yeah, oh, so Anthony and Pixels are going to Revivals. Yeah, that sounds amazing. I hope you both have an amazing time. Unfortunately, I'm just not going to be able to make it. It's just all a bit... Quite a lot going on in June, to be honest with you. I just need to... make sure I'm resting up and getting some work done, really. So my own wedding work and that, so. Yeah, so I'd love to go, but it's just a little bit too much for me at the moment, so. So yes, yes, the Commodore fonts are named after gems, that's right. So you've got Ruby, Garnet, Garamond. No, not Garamond. Sorry, I'm thinking of... not Garamond. I'm thinking of the actual Amiga font. Yeah, so Ruby, Garnet, Opal, Sapphire, Topaz, obviously. Diamond. What's the other one? There's another one. It's not garnet. Garnet and sapphire. What's the one that looks a bit like that sort of stereotypical Irish font? Is that garnet? I forget now. So yeah, there are others, aren't there? So piqued my interest now. What other ones are there? Let's have a little look. Do. Gosh, it's really warm in here tonight. I'm going to have to open a window, folks. Oh, burning up. Yeah, it is a busy wedding month, Anthony. I've got quite a bit of travelling to do for it as well, sort of, not just locally. I've also got to get up to the Lake District at the end of the month as well, so it's a lot of backwards and forwards, and I seem to think I was up that way not so long. Oh yes, that's right, 2 weeks ago I had to go up to sort of Manchester area, so sort of around there, and yeah, it's just a bit too much to be sort of going up there and then coming back and then going back up there again, and this weekend I'm in London, so it's, yeah, I need a weekend where I not got weddings booked in that I can actually do some processing work, so yeah, Topaz Phil, yeah, that's one of them. So what other ones have we got here? So that's not them. Obviously Courier. Yeah, there's Diamond. Emerald, that's the other one I was thinking of. That's the one I was thinking, it's like the Irish font, so that obviously counts as that's the one I was thinking of. I'm sure Amiga Ireland make use of that, so what else have we got here? Garnet mentioned it. Oh no, he was not one of them. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all of them, isn't it? So, yeah. Yeah, Opal I mentioned. I quite liked Opal. I thought that was quite a nice one. That one there, I thought that was quite nice because it actually worked quite nicely on a high-res screen like here. Yeah, so cool. So there you go. This is a real geek out stream, isn't it? We're talking about Amiga fonts. I probably already said that. It's just so hot in here at the moment. So you've met John Hare in the past. Cool. Yeah, I met John Hare briefly at one of the what are they called? Is that not AMOS productivity one? Let's try that one. Oh, that's nice of you, Dave. Nice of you to do some meet and greet with Pixels there. So, hey there, Rob. Hope you're doing well. Sorry, I didn't see you drop in there. Sorry. I hope you're well. So, weird seeing those fonts. I know, isn't it? Yeah, it's sort of one of those blasts from the past, isn't it? So, you would geek out with TTF and OFT. Do you mean OTF? or PostScript Type 1 or Type 2. Actually, I don't know if I've got it on the 600. I might do. I've got a really useful utility which you do probably need for your Amiga these days. No, it's not in there. I might not have it on here because it might be more of an Amiga 1200 thing, I guess. Yeah. I don't think I've got it on here. But Typesmith, that's a really useful utility to have for your Amiga. It will convert TrueType fonts into CompuGraphic or bitmap fonts, and it will also convert Adobe Type 1 fonts into CompuGraphic fonts or TTFs into Type 1s. It's very useful. So let's just flip back to AMOS. It seems to have skipped out disc 4. I don't know what's on there, so maybe that's the black disc. So here be dragons. So of the non-32 kind. So right, we're pretty much there. And then hopefully we are anyway. And then we'll patch AMOS, and then we're good to have a go and have a little play with it. So. Do. It was an AF cover disc, you're right there. I might have it in this box here. It's either in this box or the one that I didn't get down, because it was one of the later ones. Have a look. Oh, there it is. As you can see, it was sealed when I got it, but I opened it up. But I kept the little bag that it was in. So, yeah, there's Typesmith. Very useful indeed. So, also, I've not opened this up yet, but this here is a bit of a hidden gem. This utility. This is actually a demo, but I do remember buying the actual full copy of this. It was a shareware app. It was about £10. It came with a manual. It's called Nucleus. And what it is a really good menu designer. Really good. So if you think back to those disc magazine days, and actually talking about documentaries, that's one of the things that I do want to do a little documentary about, is about the Amiga disc mag scene, because I really enjoyed that back in the day. But Nucleus was a really good, albeit quite late, menu designer for your Amiga. So if you wanted to make a really good menu system for your disc magazine or something similar to that, this was a great utility to do it with. So I'm looking forward to actually playing with that again at some point. So yeah, there's just literally tons and tons of discs. So this, yeah, all these subscriber discs and everything. What have we got on this one? A SCSI mounter, a CDXL GUI, AMI CDFS, read Mac floppies and CD-ROMs. Whoopee! A collection of useful library files. Wow. So yeah, there's some nice stuff in here. Got obviously a copy of Music X there. Pro Vector, that was a really good cover disc. So yeah, just wondering what other cool bits. Obviously I've got a copy of Page Setter in there. Loads of copies of Page Setter. Yeah. The Amiga format, sort of up until sort of about 95, had some really good cover discs. Yeah, and then they sort of went a bit funny from that. So, yeah. Another Blitz Basic disc there, Pixels. You might remember that one. This is a slightly later one. This is a 2.15 disc. Try not to get any. Never been opened. Never been opened. Like a digital magazine, exactly that. So yeah, there's still disc mags going. That's the really cool thing about it, isn't it, Rob? So I thought it'd be really cool to look at some of the disc mag scene, because you had sort of like the really classic ones like Grapevine and LSD and stuff like that. So please insert AMOS professional accessories into any disc drive. I'm guessing that's disc 4. So neat, that's the whole thing I've missed. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's worth exploring, so we'll be looking into that. So was it similar to Hyperbook? Ooh, that doesn't sound good, does it? Ooh, maybe we've got one bad disc here, folks. Ooh, strange noises. There's something strange in the neighbourhood. Who are you going to call? DF0. Was it similar to Hyperbook back in the day? Kind of. Talking of which, get the heavy disc box again. There were some Hyperbook replacements of sorts of the Amiga. I'll mention those in just a moment. But there's just one disc here that... There was this one that came on an Amiga format cover disc. See, again, this one's sealed, but I actually do... it's just here. It's this Magic Storybook. That's a bit like Hyperbook, where you could sort of create books and stuff. That's one of the things that people used to do with Hyperbook, wasn't it? But, yeah, I know, Floppy Seek of Doom, wasn't it? Yeah, I thought it was actually a disk error. It seems to be quite happy now, so... Yeah, an error has occurred when reading the files. You don't say. Right, what I'm going to do... Because obviously I don't want to cancel the installation here. Right, if in doubt, do that to the disk a few times and then spin it around a little and give it a shake. A bit like salt and shake this, isn't it? So let's just do a retry. Maybe I took the disk out too soon when it was writing. No, it doesn't like it, does it? Shh. I'm just going to let it error again because I'll be able to write the floppy disk again, so... I think this is definitely the best stream that's ever happened on YouTube. Oh. Right, okay. Let's write that disk again. We're not going to bother with... Let's just get the arguments. I'm not going to bother with the GUI because it's just going to slow things down a bit. So, am I able to get up to the command history? Was it? No, it's gone. Let's try again. Right. ADF drive df0. File will be ADH1 disk 4. Right, and verify. There we go. Thank goodness the Amiga can multitask. This is definitely peak YouTube, watching me transfer ADFs using the Amiga shell. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It is the sound of disk error. Yeah, do the shake and fab and put back the 0 and 1s. Yeah. If only you had a multitask nurse to write the disk in. I know, if only I did. Yeah, where am I going to find one? But if you've got any ideas, do let me know. So, knew that was going to happen. Of course, yeah, with that kind of sound. Use the new Go 80 ADF. I'll look at that, Miyako, actually. That sounds pretty good. So, I just find the easy ADF utility is quite good, but I'm sure it just has a memory leak, and it just makes my Amiga run so slow after it's written a few disks. So, I mean, ultimately, it's just a wrapper for trans ADF anyway. So, as you can see here, so don't worry, AMOS, we'll be back soon. You just hang in there. Well, I'm just going to take this opportunity to have a little comfort break, and I'm just going to turn up the tunes, and I'll be right back in a couple of moments, okay? Oh, it's a shame, isn't it? That'll explain why it didn't work then. So, okay. Yeah, another DD bites the dust. Well, given that out of these 40 or so blank discs that I got from this Amiga 1200 haul, it's not too bad, is it? So, I don't know why I'm calling it Amiga 1200 haul. I mean, why do we use these words now, like pickups and haul? I bought an Amiga 1200 and it came with some stuff. So, now we describe it as if it's something that we looted, or... I don't know, strange, isn't it? Maybe it's just a change in use of language, I guess, so... And I'm watching Amiga never writes. You're quite right there, aren't you, there? I'm just going to try formatting it just to see if it will work, so... Ooh. You never know, it might work this time, so basically all we've managed to do today is format some discs and then format them again. Why not, instead of using the disc, do not mount the images on Workbench? Very good point. I don't actually have that utility installed on my Amiga 600 at the moment, Miyako. That's why. I do use that on my Amiga 1200 though, so... I'm breaking the internet, Anthony, aren't I? Yeah, so I'm doing it my way. No twerking here, so... In fact, nothing's working here either, so... I hit the same problem with the Sony machine. Oh, I'm glad it's not just me that's run into it, Phil, so... The stream says noodling in the title, and this is a noodling part. It definitely is. This is the average evening here, so... Yeah, me just noodling about doing this kind of stuff, so... I don't achieve a great deal, but I have a bit of fun doing it, I guess, so... Right, we're coming up to that problematic track, so... Track 67. When I'm 67... Oh, no. Doesn't look good, does it, folks? Oh! No, I think it's knackered, so... Oh! No, I think it's a goner. Right. We'll just reuse the patch disc, so... Make your own entertainment, folks, isn't it? So, what else can I show you that I've been working on there? To be honest with you, I've pretty much gone through everything because... really, there's the graphics wise, that was what I was hoping to do with one half of this stream, but we're now an hour and a half in, just watching me do this, so... But never mind, eh, so... I would use image mount Miyako, but by the time I've set it all up, it'll just take longer, so... It's just that by the time I've connected up the compact flash card, taken the memory card out, put the compact flash card in, which requires a reboot, unpacked it, installed it, and so forth, so... Yeah... It would just take a bit too long, really, so it's frustrating to watch, I must admit, though, so... Rub out what I had on it, so... There we go. It's a dead disc now, so... Or pirate disc. Oh dear. Right, okay, that's that done. We'll come back here, go to retry. Try a different disc, so helpful, yeah, absolutely. So, hey there, Gareth, nice to see you. So, you've come in a bit late, don't worry. So, AMOS 2 has been finally announced. Is AMOS 2 being freely available to start coding with it? Yeah, pretty. Oh, hey, what? Come on. What is going on here, folks? Maybe if I just try and take the disc out and back in again. I think we've... Oh. What are you looking for? Hey Mauro, hope you're well, so... Oh, the source code got released soon as well, so... Awesome. You're happy listening to the music, DB, yeah. Okay. Yeah, with 6 megs of RAM you can do it, absolutely, so... Yeah, unfortunately I've only got 4, but let's little think a moment. That's not going to do it, is it? So... what to do? I can try it once more, folks, but it feels a bit like a waste of time, really. Let's not be defeated. Let's try once more. Should have really set this up before the stream, shouldn't I? Right. Yeah, I'm doing really well actually, Mauro, thank you. Yeah, doing good. So, just trying to get AMOS Pro installed here, but just running into a few little problems here. I think it may have just given up the ghost purely because it failed on reading the previous disk, and maybe there's just like a bug in the install script which doesn't overlook the fact that it is now fixed, as it were. So yeah, I guess that's what it is. So what's the small font I'm using on Workbench for the icons? Asked Rob. No worries. Yeah, no, you're quite welcome to ask the same question. It's, excuse me, it's called Peridot. It's quite a nifty little one. It's yeah, it's certainly oh, I've already got the font typed in there. Yeah, it just is a little bit smaller than I'm using an Amiga A shortcut all the time. Oh, there you go. Anthony's confirmed it. So, whoops. All right. Let's come back here. No, you shouldn't have set this up first as a core Amiga experience. Absolutely. So, we've all been through it, haven't we? So, God knows, even these days, I have to debug installer scripts why they don't work. So, press any key. Where's the any key? Right. Updating your system disk configuration. Can you mount the ADF file as a disk image using that utility? I don't know. I'll have a look what's in the my C folder in a moment. So, oh. Right, let's okay that. Right, devices. ADH2 coding. Oh, it did create an AMOS Pro folder after all of that. Oh well, we'll just stick it in here for now. Okay. Am I going to be a masochist and try doing the accessories disc again? Why not? You're just thinking that yourself. Yeah, this is true, so... can't recall, haven't found one I used to use, a decent 7-pixel one. Yeah, there were some good ones. I can't remember the name either, actually, Rob. So, right, let's just see what's in the C directory. That might be helpful, so... Because there might be some things that are on here that, like Miyako's referring to, that I've just not actually thought or noticed here before, so... No, I don't think any of those are ones that I use on the yeah, don't recognise any of those as ones that I use on the A1200. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's got a mounting option, does it? So okay. Right. Oh well, we tried. You revealed your registration key. Now everyone will register your copy of AMOS Pro. Oh, absolutely. I'm really worried because look at these really super genuine discs. I mean, I refer back to my previous disc. No, I think it just does it when you download it off of Ultimate Amiga. Basically, that's what you get. So it just basically, obviously, treats it as a brand new disc, I guess, and then just writes something into a file and Bob's your uncle. So let's have a look at this link that Sabertooth Barnacle has just sent. So ADF view. Yeah, there's insert. Oh, okay, that's quite a useful one. Insert disc. I like that. Looks much more simpler than the one that I use in a 1200. Mount virtual. I can't remember which one it is that I use. So, but I will sort something like that out on the Amiga 600 soon. So. We'll just continue down this path for now, and if the accessories don't write, they don't write. We'll leave it there and move on. So yes, we are getting there. So yeah, not much pixel art happening at the moment, is there? So So actually, whilst we're waiting, I'll just go and grab something else that's quite interesting. Don't worry, Miyako, I will be on it. They're all good. I think it's image mount that I use, probably on the 1200. Anyway, so this is just an issue of Amiga format, which had it's from November 92. The reason I have this issue is because obviously it's got loads of good DPaint stuff in it. If I point to the right bit, no, the other hand, Vicky. This one. So it's hard doing things in reflection. So yeah, that's why I've got this issue. But I also noticed that this was the issue that they reviewed. Oh, I could mount the RAD drive. That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. So you guys are full of good ideas. Yeah, I forgot about the RAD drive. But I noticed in here was the issue that they reviewed AMOS Professional anyway. There it is. And they gave it one of the highest scores ever in Amiga format, I think. 97%. So that's pretty impressive, isn't it? So they basically said that AMOS Professional speed faster than a speeding bullet. Ideal for coding anything games to serious applications. Documentation written by Mel Croucher. The AMOS Pro manual is a vast improvement over the original. That's a good point. You won't write a mega game straight away, but AMOS is still beautifully straightforward for accessibility. That's the only one when I gave it 4 out of 5. But otherwise, the features no other Amiga Pro language even comes close. Ooh. And value, £70. Might seem like a lot of money, but AMOS is still cheap when compared to the competition. Probably the ADF file is corrupt. That's a good point, Miyako, actually. It might be, you never know. Yeah, so obviously £70 with inflation is probably more like 120 these days, I guess, so... yeah, so there you go. They obviously thought very highly of it, 97%, so... Cross-DOS, got so excited when I got hold of that cover disk. Read and write 720k floppies, simple times. Oh yes, of course, yeah. I just noticed that, yeah, that's what Saber-Tooth Barnacle's referring to just here. Cross-DOS. Yeah, I don't know that I had... I must have had it before on my Amiga 600, but I doubt I really used it because at school, didn't really use the PCs much, to be honest with you. I don't recall using PCs when I first started secondary schools, though. I seem to think it was only maybe in the second year that we did. By which time I had an Amiga 1200 which had Workbench 3 and Cross-DOS built in, so... Yes, it was Error 42. I just pointed it out, actually, coincidentally, so... Gareth, yes, love that mag. Yeah, I love Amiga format. It's one of the great magazines, so... Have you watched the Modern Vintage Games video about the Dungeon Master copy protection work? I haven't, actually, no. It's... Oh, maybe I'll watch that one, yeah, so... Sometimes deciding what to watch with limited time, isn't it? So I'll check it out, though, so... Oh, for the days of paying once for your software tools, indeed, yes. Yeah, the AMOS, they used to do upgrade versions as well, which were very reasonable, so... And Rob also got Cross-DOS from a cover disc as well, so... I'm guessing that Error 42 and Rob, you got it from the same disc, perhaps, so... No worries, Phil, thanks for joining us. I'm glad you've enjoyed, or you've been present for watching me format some discs. It's been tremendous, hasn't it? But it's been lovely to have you here. Yeah, so... Yeah, Adobe Rental sounds extortionate now. This is the thing, isn't it? So they wean you off of doing the paid versions. They get you on subscription for a good price, and they start rising the prices of subscription. Nobody saw that coming, did they? That's what we had, Saber-Tooth Barnacle. We had RM Nimbuses with some of them were 186s. I think the odd one was a 286, but they all ran Windows 2.0 free or 2.11. It wasn't 3.11, it was, I think it was 2.03. So, oh, being a chatterbox again, I missed that. So, your school had Pets, BBCs, and an RM380Z Necronon. Wow. Yeah, we had BBCs as well when I was at school, but by the time I got to secondary school, they were definitely on their way out, so... DB used to love Ace magazine. Yeah, it was okay, wasn't it? I didn't buy it very often, I'll be honest, so... Oh, good luck, thanks, yeah, that's nice of you to wish us luck, Phil, so... We'll get there eventually, so... You're a SketchUp user at work too, so... Yeah, SketchUp's quite nice, isn't it, so... And that's why after 20 more years of Adobe products that Maurer has switched to Affinity and Blackmagic Studio. Don't blame you, to be honest with you. I tend to use, when I'm at home, if I'm not just doing sort of compositing, I tend to use Autodesk Sketchbook most these days, because that's now free, and that suits me fine for what I want to do, so... I do subscribe to the Photoshop and Lightroom subscription because obviously as a photographer I need Lightroom. It's an essential tool, so I love it and hate it in equal measure, but that's just the nature of Adobe, isn't it? So right, whilst this is doing that, I'm just going to do what Saber-Tooth Barnacle suggested. just see that rad is actually there. Oh, it might be a volume. Yeah, I think maybe. Is it there? Ah, excellent, it is there. So remind myself of the syntax. Oh, it's a bit quicker, isn't it? Wow, Blender 3D is free as well. Cool. And Anthony likes Blender as well. That's awesome. I've never actually played with Blender, so... Okay, so... Ha! I had to type in rad to make it show. Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. Oh, there it is, yeah. But yes, there we go. So we've got our AMOS disc there, so that's cool. Or fourth disc. So hopefully that's going to do the trick. So this is what the Amiga was so good at, wasn't it? All this multitasking, switching around, getting things to work and that. So this is a thing that's just overlooked, I think, these days when it comes to the Amiga's history on YouTube and so forth, is the fact that it was genuinely a computer. It was, you know, used for productivity, and maybe, as DB says about whether I was going to do some documentaries and that, maybe that's what I would look at doing, as a sort of like a documentary of Amiga productivity in general. So, because there were lots of fantastic pieces of application software. I mean, another one that's in that copy of Amiga format is XCAD, and I've met quite a few people over the years who used to rave about using XCAD on their Amigas, and because obviously there's the applications we all know like DPaint or Pencil Paint, Final Writer or Final Copy, Wordsworth. What else did we have? Superbase, Scala, Amiga Vision. You know, the list is endless, really. Yeah, your work requires a lot of Illustrator and so forth, and yeah, see, this is the thing, we're very much an Adobe shop as well, so... Okay, well, I've put AMOS Professional Accessories in, but does it not pick it up being in RAD? So... Oh well, we'll try this disc again, so... Not sure why it wouldn't pick it up as being in RAD. I guess maybe because it doesn't pick... Maybe it's listening to the insert disc from the actual physical insert disc signal rather than the DOS signal to say that the disc is ready. Seems happy now, doesn't it? So... Yeah, I think we're okay. Awesome. Yeah, I'm probably doing the same as well, DB. It's hard to keep up with it all, isn't it? All these other tools. So, no worries, Doug. Yeah, easy install troubles, eh? What fun. But it's all good, so... Hey, Madigan, hope you're well. Nice to see you, so... Yeah, good to see you. DB says, oh my god, Wordsworth, you just triggered wonderful memories, Vixen. Absolutely. Wordsworth was a great word processor. I was always more of a Final Copy, Final Writer girl, but yeah... You feel like you missed out on RAD. Feel like you missed out. Yeah, RAD was awesome. Well, RAD was RAD. Because the thing was with RAD is that... maybe I'll demonstrate it in a minute. But if I do format drive RAD name boot, something like that. Return, like so. So that'll format that disk. Of course, obviously it's RAM, so it's really quick. So then all we've got to do is you can then do install rad. Object's not required type. Can you not make a rad disk bootable? I'm sure you could. sure I booted RAD disks, or do they just work? Maybe RAD disks just work. I don't know, but I always thought you could boot from a RAD disk, but maybe my memory's not working well. But in theory, from what I recall, you could boot a RAD disk and it was really quick. So the only problem is obviously back in those days we all didn't have a lot of memory. So AMOS Pro is now installed on your chosen device. Yeah. To load and run AMOS Pro, quick back to the workbench and double click on AMOS Pro icon found in the directory shown below. Lovely. So I've got to go to coding/AMOS Pro/AMOS Pro/AMOS Pro. Well, that's a win. No, AMOS Pro will create insides when you run it so you can access direct folder. Okay, so I can clean up those folders, that's fine. So let's quit that. Move to this from DFO. Done. Right, okay. Try install boot. Oh, okay. Doesn't seem to, actually, Mary. Yeah, but that's what I thought, Sabertooth Barnacle, but maybe it just... Maybe you don't need to put the boot block on it, so maybe it just works. Maybe if I do make dir rad s edit rad... this is completely off topic, guys. Yeah, it's because I've not created it yet, then, is it? So, okay. Oh, hang on. Edit. Ugh. Let's just do that again. Not edit. I want ed. So, I don't know. That'll do. And then... Right, let's just see what happens. Do. Fancy one for Meeks Ron's problem solving convos amongst your Amigas. Yeah, there's some real Amiga experts in here today, so, or this evening. My guess is that didn't work. Oh well. Oh, hang on, it did. There you go. So you can boot from RAD. So, which is pretty rad, awesome. So, right, okay. So, of course, the only question is now that RAD is there. How do you unmount? Is there a dismount? I can't remember. Ooh, no, got the wrong key map on here. What's he got? Where's the hash thing gone? There it is. Oh, whatevs. Obviously, it doesn't survive a power cycle, so... Yeah, absolutely. I know what you mean, DB. You know, that's the pool of knowledge that's out there is amazing, isn't it? So, all give yourselves a pat on the back. So, yay! Yeah. Your Amiga 600 motherboard is all safely swaddled and shipping box ready for recap at the Amiga patch. Oh, awesome. Good job. So, yeah, load workbench would obviously load the workbench, but I was just thinking that otherwise every time I'm going to have to, otherwise I'm not going to be able to boot back into the hard disk was my problem there, Necronom. Is there some command to turn off red disk? I'm sure there is, yeah, I just can't remember. Oh, if you remove the startup sequence from RAD, it should just boot normally, says Maligan. Well, there you go. We'll give that a go some other time. I'll show you what the RAD can do. So, Yeah, Super Castlevania 4, it's one of the most awesome soundtracks on the Super Nintendo, bar none, so... Right, we're doing well here, folks, now. We're motoring. I'm just going to not use that disc. Right, let's mount our friend. Obviously, as you can see, I'm using King Kong, one of the essential Amiga utilities. Right, let's just write the patch list. So, Pixel, can you ask something to Mauro in Italian? Of course you can, Miyako. Yes, Steve does do a good job. So, Rad is so cool. Yeah, Rad is awesome. Rad kills a Rad disc. That's the one. Thanks, Pixels. Dinula, Miyako. Yeah, no, that's, yeah, I forgot about Rad. Forgot about that. Who would want a Rad, though? So, update AMOS Pro installed on the hard drive. Right, let's find it in its rat's nest of folders. I'm going to tidy this up in a moment. So, it's in ADH2, coding, AMOS Pro. There we go. Okay. Ugh. Is that because it's in a rat's nest of folders? I think that's what it probably is moaning about. I didn't put it there. I very vaguely know what you're on about, Miyako. Only very vaguely. It's just that Italian, obviously, is one of the Romance languages, and I know a bit of French and a teeny tiny bit of Italian, so... But I can't answer in Italian, I'm afraid. I get what you're trying to say, though. Roughly. Okay, so let's tidy up these folders. It's not in docs, keep on doing that. It's not in CF card either, Vix. So, coding. Okay, I forget the button which is to synchronise the view, so it might be S, I can't remember. Whatever. AMOS Pro. Right, so... Oh, is it in AMOS Pro here? Oh, crikey. I think it is, you know. Right, so I'm going to rename this one. Oh, and it's updated that side. That's nice. Thanks for that. Let's just see. Ooh. Okay, I think... Is it loading? Ah, there you go. Oh, but I've got another AMOS Pro folder there. What the... Right, that must be the one. So we'll go to Parent. Move. Right, I'm not going to delete the other folders because, you know, we took a long time getting those installed. So, and now... I might already have had this running, I can't remember. Yeah, it would be so cool to do that, Madigan, wouldn't it? Install a game in RAD, so... some reason, when Red sounds like a ducky ref from the adventure game back in the 1980s. How funny. Ah, I didn't get the bit about chopping the file names, but yeah. Ah, interesting. So I've been using a bit of Duolingo for French. It's fun, but awful in conversation. Je crois que vous êtes, ce n'est pas grave, c'est un peu facile si vous essayez un peu. Do I know the answer? Sadly, I don't really. My knowledge of burning CDs for compatibility on the Amiga is really out of date, to be honest with you. So, sadly, so what Amiga is this? It's just an Amiga 600. Boring old 68,000 Amiga 600, but it rocks. So we're using it like it's 1993 all over again. So yeah, so it's not fast, but I have a lot of fun with it. So right, let's select the file AMOS Pro. Ah, maybe that's where I wrote. Okay. I don't know why it's got these extra bits on the end of here. That seems a bit dodgy, doesn't it? Okay, let's go OK. Please insert AMOS Pro. Oh, it's it obviously listens to probably a system like the hardware going, oh, you've got a disk in there, rather than the OS saying, no, that's already mounted. RAM 4 megabytes, so it's 2 megas of chip RAM, 2 megs of fast RAM. So, oui. Little Japanese. Oh, I did a Japanese evening class this year, just gone, and I've forgotten most of it now. So, but I can just about remember hiragana, so that's something. So, I do. The thing is that I'm just trying to get fluent at French before I really try to then start speaking another language. It's I'd rather master one thing and do it reasonably well than walk before I can run, because, you know, there's actually one of the things. Oh, I'll talk about it whilst this disc's writing. So, because otherwise we'll be just listening to me jabber on whilst you're looking at a DOS prompt. So. Okay, great. That's writing. So, yeah, you could install quite a bunch of games in RAD in that amount of memory. So, I mean, I do use WHD load, to be honest with you, most of the time. So, but what was I going to say? Oh, that's right. Yes, French. Yeah. So at the start of July, I'm off to Paris for a couple of days. I'm going to go over to the Japan Expo over there. I've always wanted to go, and this year I'm actually doing it because my birthday's on the 1st of July. So I thought I would do something special for a change. Yeah. So I'm off to Japan Expo. So I'm hoping actually to do a little video about that. So. Should be quite interesting actually, because I'm hoping to, you know, you never know, I might be able to interview a few people. I'm not sure whether it'll be much good, but give it a go. So yeah. Jap English. Oh, so your ex-partner's Japanese, and much to her chagrin, you would frustrate her greatly with your Jap English. Yeah, Japlish. In Panese. Yeah. So yeah, you could install Indy 4 on your A1200 Mulligan. That's a nice setup, isn't it? So HD0 or DH0. So what was that relating to, Phil? Did I miss something? So the reason why my partitions have strange volume or whatever they're called, you know, sort of logical names, or I don't know what the proper word is, but it's because that's what the disc came with from an Amiga kit. and I never changed it, so it does annoy me a bit though. So what's it doing now? I thought it broke the disc. Oh no, it's because, like an idiot, I'm watching the stream thumbnail and what is actually going on with my Amiga. Right. Current action. Unpacking data. Okay. Yeah, there you go. It worked. Hey, Nancy. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Lovely to see you. Enjoy revivals if I don't see you before you go. And, yeah, have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us. I know it wasn't the most thrilling of streams watching me install something, but oh well. The best of laid plans and all that, so yeah, how people name it. When I had my Amiga 1200, I named, this is back in the day, back in the mid-90s, I had DH0, DH1, DH2, etc. Maybe it was just up to DH2, I can't remember. No, sorry, HD0, HD1, HD2, because that seemed to be the more then way of doing it. But older Amigas definitely always configured it as DH0, because like discard, I guess, discard 1, discard 2, etc. So, but yeah, there was a point where I have a feeling that HD Toolbox changed the defaults from the DH nomenclature, how do you say that word, nomenclature? Not a word you say very often, so, well, I say very often, from the DH business, so yeah. Right, we're almost there. You're a total layman, you'll find this quite interesting to watch, to be honest. Lol. Yeah, so we've done it, folks, we've done it. So I'll be honest with you, I don't think I'm going to install the tile map editor tonight. I think we're done there, to be honest with you. So I'm going to run AMOS, at least, because we've spent all that time getting it ready now. So let's do, as Pixel said, Remrad, because I'm sure that's resident at the moment. Use force to override. Ta-da! Okay, NCLI. So we should have gained some memory back. We have, pretty much. Not that AMOS needs a lot of memory, but there you go. It saves me rebooting, doesn't it? So let's go into coding. Right, we'll just see that AMOS Pro actually runs. We'll get these icons sorted out at some point because they're a bit of a mess. There it is. Fingers crossed it works. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to stop. Yeah, delete AMOS now and laugh at everybody and just quit the stream. Yeah, that would be super cruel, wouldn't it? So, look at that, it worked. So, okay, right, awesome. So, as I say, I don't know a lot about AMOS, as I was a Blitz kid. Let's do load. Let's see what we've got in examples, though. Examples. Oh god, is there a lot of examples? Help? No? Accessories? Tutorial maybe? Tutorials? Oh, here we go. So what have we got in here? Multi-rainbows. We've got hardware sprites. That's quite interesting. Let's have a look at that. Let's just have a look at some of this code here. Now, bear in mind, I don't really know, as I say, AMOS, so this could be interesting. It's quite nice, actually, the way that this is documented. Actually, if you look at this code here, it does actually go to the effort of bloody hell, that is some awesome commenting. So basically, obviously, it lays out what OCS/ECS Amigas can do in terms of sprites, how the colours are arranged. Awesome. So, that's some documentation. So, well, let's just run this and see what it does. Is it this button? Right, okay. 8 free coloured sprites. There they are. For 15 coloured sprites. There they are. 1 max width, 3 coloured sprite. Oh, I see. Yes. 1 max width, 15 coloured sprite. There it is. But this is where the Amiga was quite limited because obviously it relied more on the blitter to do this kind of stuff. So, you know, when you consider that, like for example, a Super Nintendo could have, I don't know how many it was, but was it up to 128 or something like that? And they would be of that size. Sprites on a hand screen, that sounds good. Oh, it's going to draw out a ham screen now, so... Quick hello world, yes, I shall do that in a minute, Pixels, so... Yeah, no worries, Doug, I'm already working on it when you can't see it, so I'm just programming Pac-Man as... Oh, done. Yeah, just literally fell on the keyboard and it just came out, so... Yeah. 10-minute Amiga programming. Yeah, you got it, Malrose, so... Did you have 1X there? I did, yeah. I've not put V2 on here yet, so I think we've done well to get this far, so that escalated quickly, yeah, so there may be an upgrade in store. Oh, okay, I'll look at that, so cool. Okay, so sprites an extra half bright screen. Actually, that's quite interesting because I've been interested about that, so okay, well, it just shows off what sprites can do, doesn't it? So right mouse to quit. So let's clear this. New. Okay. Well, I think I can manage this, even though I don't know. Well, I don't need the line numbers either, do you? Okay. Let's see what we get. No errors. Yay! I can still write a basic program. There you go. Let's go back to the editor. This is very much like on a Commodore 64 as far as I'm concerned, but that was the beauty of things like this, wasn't it? It was allowing you to do stuff like this, you know, with a 16-bit computer, wasn't it? So... yeah, oh. I wonder why it can't handle the space then. Or maybe it doesn't like the comma. Maybe. See, I'm going to have to learn all this stuff, so... let's try again. You know, the thing is, I've never been ashamed of actually saying that, you know, there you go, there must be something to do with the comma in it, so we'll learn that eventually. But I've never been ashamed of, when I do these streams and all the rest of it, is actually showing that, look, I don't know everything about all this stuff. So, like, for example, with C programming, you know, like, it's a little while ago since I did that, but I probably could relearn my C programming for the Amiga and show that. But, obviously, AMOS was something I didn't use because I used Blitz Basic. That's what I knew. So it's quite cool actually that maybe I can explore AMOS with you guys, you know, and yeah, it'll be quite fun, I think. So V2 upgrade from 1.12 came with AMOS Pro compiler. Oh, cool. And some bug fixes. So. You was talking about Hello World over dinner and your other halves were very confused. Yes, well, everybody who's done a bit of coding knows about Hello World, don't they? So, C is great, yeah. I was a bit of a C junkie on the Amiga, so... is it temperate Hello World? Pretty much DB, so if I come out of this, and let's say I delete this, cancel... I guess you can't drag select in this editor, so block. All text. Okay. Forget. No. Cut. There you go. I'll do 10 print. Hello World. Right, so 20 I like how this actually does, you know, sort of reformat your text. That's got go to 20, and then you can just run it like so. Ow. Oh, sorry, I've done this wrong, haven't I? I've done go to 20. Probably jammed up the Amiga now. Go to 20. Amateur hour. Go to 10. There you go. Yay! Right. Return. Control Y to delete a line. Oh, lovely, thanks. So, use Sassy. Yeah, I used to use Lattice and Sass actually, so yeah. But yeah, no, I Blitz and C was what I did on the Amiga. So learning AMOS on these streams will be quite fun actually. So we will make a note of doing it. I'm just wondering if there's anything else that I can do awesome here. Let's just see if we can find another little example of a game, because that will show what AMOS can do, won't it? So now compile it and upload it to Amiga. I'm already on it, Pixel's already on it. Yeah, I'm on there. I'm thinking of calling it Amiga OS 3.2 because I don't think it would cause too much controversy. Why would it load? Is it expecting me to save it? No, I see. Right, let's just see if I can find some example games or something. So that's Productivity 1, for example. Planet Zybex. Super Blockout, that sounds good. That sounds like an Arkanoid clone if I ever heard of one, or a Breakout. Yep, we'll adapt the size. Okay, so let's click Run. By the way, if you start hearing music clash, because this has got game music... Oh, that just checked it, didn't it? Sorry. I'm just going to turn off... Oh, no, I don't think so. Okay, so we'll do F2 for keyboard, because I have got the joystick, but you don't need to listen to my squeaky zip stick. I'm just going to switch on to full screen, just because it's a little bit laggy if I do this through OBS's preview. Oh, okay. Oh, it's Tetris clone. Cool. Yeah. That's nice. So this is the kind of stuff that AMOS could do pretty easily, which is nice. I don't know whether this is like match it up to colours and stuff or not really. Maybe. But yeah, this is the stuff that AMOS was primarily made for, I guess, isn't it? Making games. Ooh, no. Yay, there's one line done. Ooh, it's got a nice little shake effect as well. That's cool. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see this kind of stuff. There we go. There we are, lovely stuff. That drops in there like so. I'll drop that one. You over here. Stick that one in here. And so on and so forth. I mean, I'm not going to literally sit here and play this all evening. So Control C that. There we go. Let's return to the editor. You've installed Sassy on your 12. It's been fun playing. That's cool, Phil. Yeah, I screwed up Hello World. That's me, Doug. Oh, I'm sure you will do soon, though, Phil. So, nope, so I should code along. I was on to learn to code and bought AMOS last year. Well, there you go. We can explore it together, Neville. So, I remember. So, DB says, I remember typing out exhaustive magazine pokes for C64's R-Type cheating once. All for nothing heart. EV and misprint or a spelling mistake or something along. Oh, God, DB, I remember that. It was awful, wasn't it? You'll get like this listing that was this long over 3 pages. You type it all in and, oh, never worked. So. That's correct, Madigan. If it's just going back to 20 all the time, it's just going to loop and probably burn up your 68,000. So, crack up. That was the best Arcanine clone, you think, DB? What a tune! Yeah, I do think I've played that. Yeah, it's pretty good if I remember it rightly. So yeah, so AMOS is pretty cool, isn't it? So I think the idea is that next time I do the stream, I'll have a little bit more file of facts. Oh, I've got to see this. Next time I do this, I will have the what am I saying? Oh dear, I've lost my train of thought, guys. I will have the tile map editor installed, and we can combine that with a bit of pixel art and stuff as well. So nice. So I can put some details in here, can I? Do I just start typing? New card. There you go. Got to click new before you can type. So surname. Okay. Oh, I don't know. Something like that. I don't know. Oh dear, I can't do German, sorry. I put that in the wrong box. Hobbies and interests. There we go. I think this could be quite useful actually. So, yeah. Yeah, Sassy. I think if you search for English Amiga board or EAB Grandis, Grandis, you'll get to their FTP server. So, with the Zelda music, this is like some sort of kind of Final Facts quest. Absolutely. So, well, maybe that's what we should put in here. So, first names, Link. We'll do the full on Mark and Lard, Lincestershire. Well, of course. Something like that. Yeah. Oops. Oh, can you not click? Oh, I suppose you've got to use your cursor keys to mouse over, haven't you? So, there you are. Look at that. Yeah, so that's pretty cool, isn't it? So we won't save this because I don't think this is going to be the most useful file of facts I've ever had. So, yeah, so otherwise Phil might be able to help you out with it, I guess, Rob. Yeah, so DB asked a good question. Do you feel there's so much focus on Nintendo and Sega systems overall when Amiga was important? Is it that in the US it was much more console focused? I think it just comes down to the fact that a lot of retro gaming content has generally come from the States, and so obviously the Amiga was sadly very much and also ran compared to the IBM PC and Macintosh over there, and it wasn't really seen primarily as a gaming machine like it was in Europe. So I guess it just means that the Amiga doesn't get a lot of love and is slightly unknown, but you will find there are some American content producers that do refer to the Amiga. I mean, like for example Joe from GameSack, he's very much interested at least in the Amiga. I think he's quite interested in it. Nice to see you, Madigan. Have a good night. We're going to wrap up soon here anyway. We've probably not managed to do much in the way of coding or indeed pixel art this evening, but it's been fun. So, is there an unbalanced focus? Maybe, but obviously Sega and Nintendo were huge over here. You know, particularly sort of like by about 92 or so, the Mega Drive really was making massive inroads. And then you had the Super Nintendo launched at the end of 92 over here, which is really quite late really when you compare it to you know, it's like 2 years after it was released in Japan and a year after the States, so, or North America, really. Well, then, did Canada get it at the same time as the US? Not sure, but anyway, regardless, so. But I think, yeah, there is a little bit of a Nintendo Sega bias, so, yeah. Right, I'm going to power down my Filofax. So, there we go. Yeah, I think that's also the other reason, as Doug says, it's the fact that obviously Sega and Nintendo still exists, whereas obviously Commodore has been non-existent for 25 years now. So I work with a whole bunch of people who have never even heard of Commodore, let alone the Amiga, so, which gives you a bit of an idea, I guess. So, and you know, I work in a reasonably technology orientated agency, I guess. So. Yeah. So, yes, it's, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? So I think that's probably AMOS covered, isn't it? For today, at least. Let's just bring the mouse back down here. Let's quit that. Oh, hang on, I just wonder. About loaded extensions. I'll have to learn how to install these extensions. I think they're quite easy to do, but yeah, I need to check into that. So I see, so this has got the extensions that are currently installed, hasn't it? So yeah, that's quite nice. But yeah, the environment for AMOS Pro is, apart from that cyan, which is a little bit, or teal rather, which is a little bit, it's not too bad on the eyes, but it's definitely better than the older version, which I've got on disc down here, which looks like this. So this was the AMOS that I remembered back in the day, because this is the one that you got on floppy disks. So, and it's got some unusual additions in here, I think. So yeah, but anyway, we're not going to go for all this, but this is the AMOS that I remember from back in the day. So almost did it again. Oh dear. There you go. So yeah, I guess that's what it is, isn't it, DB? Is that the Amiga was very popular over here in Europe, wasn't it? So yeah, I mean, the Super Nintendo was the system that I went on to after the Amiga. Well, for gaming, I picked up a SNES in 1994 and loved it. So it was a great system. So, and is a great system. So. No, I don't think I'm going to save that, so 20, go to 20, then go to 10, yeah, absolutely. So, Dazzly, I think you may be right, although I do really like the Mega Drive and the PC Engine as well, so. And I love the PlayStation and the PS2, and I know that I'm going to love the Switch when I eventually pick one up, so. And I like the Game Boy Advance as well. I just like too many things. The C64 is just damn right awesome, isn't it? So, yeah. Well, it's 11 o'clock, folks. I should probably wrap it up there, actually. So, mad coding skills, Vicky. Yeah, bring them on. So, they're not quite where they were 20-odd years ago, it has to be said. I don't think I have a great deal of code that I've written, to be honest with you, on here. Because I think a lot of what I have done fiddling about in Blitz has actually been on the Amiga 1200. What's this? Scroll XY. I just wonder if it... Oh yeah, AMOS is still there. Let me just quit this one. Because that'll be taking up some valuable memory. Yup. Let's just see what this is. I wouldn't have thought this is mine because it's got a license text in there, so... Oh yes. This was... Oh, who was it who uploaded this now? Somebody posted this on EAB. It's a 8-way scrolling sort of tile map done in Blitz. It's a little bit clunky scrolling though, is the only thing. So, but I think that's probably just because I'm doing it on an Amiga 600, and I don't know, maybe I've missed something. But yeah, it's not my code. So, yeah, night Dazzy, nice to see you again. So yeah. Oh, it's been very left field, hasn't it, DB? Very left field. Yeah, this was a very random stream to say the least. What I was hoping to do was install AMOS, install the tile map editor, then go to DPaint, create a tile map, and then do that in AMOS and, you know, in this tile map editor that I found, and just see what happened. I thought, you know, 2.5 hours, that should be enough time to get something basic out, but I managed to install AMOS. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, you've not found anything like on the PS1 or PS2? Well, if you like your RPGs, Doug, your JRPGs and stuff, there's plenty of good stuff on that front for the PS1 for sure, and PS2 to be fair, so you just got to look around a bit. And I suppose it depends what you like playing though, to be honest with you. I mean, I love 2D games, you know, so Ultimate vibes definitely, so then their IT people underestimate their time requirements. Yeah, don't want to say too much in case, you know, other people that I know are watching, but the current job that I've been working on at work definitely springs to mind with that one, so yeah, I'm not going to say too much about that, but yeah, we're getting there now, which is positive, so let's just leave that moment there. So yeah, Ratchet and Clank is good on the PS2, I enjoy Ratchet and Clank, so next time, tile mapping. Well, I'm thinking let's get the tile map extension installed, so we're going to need another 2.5 to 3 hours for that, and we'll go from there. I was also thinking that we might actually do some stuff on that Misato picture, but it ain't going to happen now. It's a bit too late for me, really, so, and it's a bit too late for you guys as well, unless, of course, you're Doug, where it's about probably, I don't know, probably about, what was it, 3 o'clock or something there, Doug? I don't know. Yeah. So thanks for joining me this evening. It's been different. It's been fun. It's been productive, really, because obviously I've got AMOS sorted out, and you know, I'm going to tidy up these icons probably, and then I'm going to shut it all down, and we'll call it a day, I think, really. So so yeah. So tomorrow, I think I might do a very quick sort of Castlevania stream. It will just be a very casual thing, nothing too special, but that's what I plan on doing. But otherwise, the next time you'll see me will definitely be Chrono Trigger Tuesday next week. So if you've enjoyed this evening's stream of random nonsense, it would be lovely if you could hit that like button, because, you know, it just encourages me to do more of these things like this. But to be honest with you, I probably don't need it, because you guys have been awesome this evening. So I don't even know where I've installed AMOS now. I'm just clicking around, really, aimlessly ambling about, you know. So I mean, I suppose if I thought about this, I could use that cool Amiga functionality of doing this and then doing that. There you go. Good old app Windows, eh? So save. I'm going to update this. Oh, it's already changed it. Awesome. And then I always forget that actually the Amiga Workbench is quite good at keeping an eye on changes. So let's get rid of my Ditch Me folder. There we go. All good. So, yeah, take care, everybody. I'm going to leave my Amiga 600 deleting these files, and I guess all remains for me to say is have a great evening, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye!